Welcome to Mind Your Business, where leaders sharpen their thinking and move forward with clarity and intention. I'm Steve Wagner, and today we're talking about something that doesn't get enough attention in business, but quietly determines whether people grow or get stuck. And that word is grace. Grace isn't weakness, it isn't avoiding accountability, and it isn't lowering standards. Grace is strength without self punishment. And if you want to move forward in business and in life, grace is essential. Now, why does grace matter? Most people think progress comes from pressure, more urgency, more criticism, more self discipline through force. But pressure without grace eventually breaks people. Depression, anxiety, worry. Grace doesn't remove responsibility, it removes unnecessary weight. Without grace, the mind becomes rigid, and rigid minds struggle to adapt, learn, or innovate. Grace allows you to look at reality clearly without turning every mistake into an identity. Grace says, yes, that happened. Now what's next? What's the best move? The shift alone changes everything. Now let's talk about grace and forgiving yourself. One of the biggest obstacles leaders face isn't failure, it's self-punishment, such as missed opportunities, bad hires, wrong calls, decisions that didn't work. Many leaders keep replaying these moments long after the lessons have already been learned. That replay doesn't make you any better. It makes you hesitant. Forgiving yourself does not mean excusing behavior. It means releasing the punishment after accountability has done its job. Punishment feels responsible, but it keeps you stuck in the past. Grace allows you learning without emotional debt. You don't need to suffer longer to prove you care. You need clarity to move forward. Now, how does lack of grace block solutions? When the mind is harsh, it narrows. And when it narrows, creativity disappears. If you are mentally beating yourself up, your energy is focused backwards on what went wrong instead of forward on what is possible. Grace creates space, and space is where solutions appear. You cannot solve today's problems while arguing with yesterday. Grace closes that loop. It allows the mind to say, hey, I've learned what I've needed to learn, and now it's time to apply it. That's how progress resumes. Now, here's an example of grace in business leadership. Grace matters deeply in leadership, especially under pressure. Leaders without grace hide their mistakes. They deflect blame. They create fear, and they drain the teams that work for them. Leaders with grace own their mistakes without collapsing. Correct course quickly, maintain trust, and keep people engaged. Grace does not remove accountability. It removes unnecessary suffering. You can say, this didn't meet the standard. Here's what we've learned, and here's what we're going to do to improve. That's grace with standards, and people respond to it. Now, how do we let go and learn to move forward? Grace is the ability to let go once the lesson is learned. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing not to carry the weight forward. Resentment towards yourself or others just consumes an awful lot of energy. Grace returns that energy. And when you let go, your attention comes back to the present and progress resumes. Grace says, I've taken what I needed from this, and now it's time to move on. Here are 3 practical ways you can apply grace immediately. First, change your inner language. Replace, I screwed this up with, that didn't go as planned. What did I learn? Second, separate identity from outcome. Failure is an event, not a definition. Grace keeps that distinction clear. Third, decide, then release. Reflect on what happened. Learn from what happened, and then make your decisions. Then let it go. Grace is not about lowering expectation. It's about removing unnecessary weight so you can meet them. You don't move forward by dragging yesterday behind you. You move forward by learning, then releasing. Grace allows you to forgive yourself. Let go of what no longer serves you and step into the next decision with clarity. Be firm, be accountable, but also be kind, because clarity grows where grace lives. Thanks for listening to Mind Your Business. If this episode gave you permission to stop punishing yourself and move forward, share it with someone who needs it. And until next time, let go, move forward, and keep your mindset strong.